Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm here with Nikhil, Narain, and we are talking about India versus Zimbabwe. The first match starts at the Harare Sports Club tomorrow and it'll start at 12:45 p.m. India time. So we're looking ahead to that and what really is the significance of this series. Keeping in mind that there is Asia Cup right after that. There are some key players who are going to be participating in this series and all the focus will be on some of those key players. Let us take you through them and let me begin then first by asking Nikhil that, for a lot of fans, this would just be about India, Zimbabwe, who's going to be watching it. Zimbabwe, not a very strong team, but India still deciding their core for the T20 World Cup and of course for the Asia Cup, which is the next big assignment for them. In that sense, there is significance to this series.
There is significance because, two players are making a comeback, KL Rahul and Deepak Chahar, two players who will be in the fold come the Asia Cup and also for the World T20. Remember, Deepak Chahar is a standby player for the Asia Cup, and Deepak Chahar is a brilliant new ball bowler. In the absence of Harshal Patel and Jasprit Bumrah, he'll be very important. And also Deepak Hooda, Deepak Hooda has done well. Also, I think this series will be very important for someone like a Deepak Hooda, for Avesh Khan, who's done well recently, but who's also very expensive in limited overs cricket.
Correct.
So 3 to 4 key players India will be focused on in this series, keeping an eye on the Asia Cup and then on the T20 World Cup later in Australia.
Yeah, so we're talking about who are these players that they'll be focusing on. Let's take a look at that, and those names will come up on your screen. KL Rahul, a huge name. The fact that KL Rahul's making a comeback, he last played in February. He hasn't played anything since then. So for KL Rahul, how important is the series? And now he's also been made the captain. And I think, Nikhil, that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because I felt that there was no need to really take the captaincy away from Shikhar Dhawan, who's actually captained the last ODI series that you won, and then give it to KL Rahul. And I also feel that given that this is such an important series for KL Rahul, remember he wants to play that Asia Cup, but he's running out of time. Wouldn't he be really interested in just, in his batting, just concentrating, just focusing on his batting, then really be captaining the series?
Yeah, I mean, they could have, let Dhawan be the captain even when they slotted in KL Rahul. And you're right, I mean, KL Rahul should focus on his batting, because although KL Rahul has been a limited overs run machine, an IPL run machine, highest run getter since 2018 in the IPL, and a brilliant record in ODI cricket, averaging close to 47, brilliant strike rate, also in T20I cricket for India. But the fact remains, Meha, that KL Rahul hasn't played international cricket since February. And, time is running out. There's a Asia Cup, there is a home series against Australia and South Africa before the World T20. But KL Rahul needs to, I won't say prove himself again, but he needs to get the runs again at the top of the order, where he will bat with Rohit Sharma. That's what, the likely 11 would be, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul at the top of the order. But yes, you're right, they could have let the captaincy be with Shikhar Dhawan. But from their point of view, I can understand. I mean, they want to invest in a future, in a future player, in a future captain. KL Rahul is that. I know there's Hardik Pandya in the mix also.
No,
but
there are 7 till now.
But KL Rahul is still in the mix, and you want to tell KL Rahul that he is now, the future for India. I mean, Dhawan, I think Dhawan is, on his, in the last sort of 1 year of his international career for India. If he doesn't do well in this series, I don't see him even playing the 50-over World Cup for India next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the message that you're sending to Shikhar Dhawan as well? And it's not a big tournament at the end of the day. This is a series against Zimbabwe. You made him the captain against West Indies. So the sense of, after having given him the captaincy, to take it away and then demote him to vice captaincy, that I felt was not required, given that KL Rahul's just making the comeback and you're putting some burden on him. And he's also struggled as a captain with the bat. Whenever he's been given the captaincy in international cricket, he has struggled with the bat as well. But let's also talk about KL Rahul specifically, and and how difficult is this comeback going to be? He is coming back at a time when, Nikhil, there's Asia Cup. He wants to be, and I think the team management also wants him to be, an integral part of the T20 World Cup.
Correct.
But he's not going to get too many chances. And now, given that he's only played as a middle order batsman since last year, since the England series, will he open in this series? Because he will want to get some match time.
I mean, he has a very interesting record, Meha. If you see his ODI numbers specifically, he averages very high in the 40s as an opener. But his strike rate goes down considerably at the top of the order. It's 80 odd, which is very low for an opener during these times. The par is around 90.
Correct.
So KL Rahul is striking at 10 runs per 100 balls less as an opener than other openers are, during the last 3 or 4 years in ODI cricket. KL Rahul has also done exceptionally well at number 5 for India, where he's striking at 113, 114. But the thing is, India is in a dilemma. They will want to open with KL Rahul only because of the fact that that will be his position with Rohit Sharma in all likelihood come the Asia Cup and the World T20 if he makes the 11. Which according to, I know we have different views on that. I think KL Rahul will play in the 11 as an opener, unless he completely flops in the Zimbabwe series and the and the Asia Cup and the home series before the World T20. But I know you have a different opinion on that. But therefore, they'll have to.
No, I don't.
You don't.
If I'm saying that if he does well in these series, of course he will play as an opener. But I'm just saying that from here on, it's going to be difficult. Every failure will add on. Because they have tried other openers there. They know that there is a possibility that KL Rahul might not make it. And that's why they've tried Rishabh Pant at the top of the order. They've tried Surya. So I feel like they are keeping their options open, which is how it should be as well. It is a huge tournament for them. But specifically, what I also was wondering is that how fair is it then on someone like Shubman Gill? You made him open. He's actually done well. Unfortunate to not get that 100 in the last ODI, 98 not out, at a very good strike rate. He's looked good. And you are now seeing, I'm quite sure that if he does well in the series now, upcoming series, ODI series, he would be somebody who they'd consider as their backup opener.
Absolutely. He's always been considered as one of the most talented batsmen along with Prithvi Shaw in the country. And now after, himself playing in a shell, himself striking at 120 in the IPL in 2020 and 21, this year in the IPL, Meha, for the very first time, in 3 or 4 innings, he scored, 80, 45 balls, 70, 50 balls. And he emphasized on, his scoring rate at the top of the order, and he continued that for in the West Indies series for India recently, where he was the player of the series. 3 excellent knocks. So therefore, I think in this series, if I were the captain, if KL Rahul has to open, then I would push Shubman Gill and KL Rahul at the top of the order. Why does Shikhar Dhawan need to play? Just because he's a senior statesman. Shikhar Dhawan, remember, has been in very poor form in the recent past. He's striking below 70 in his last 7 innings. He's not getting those big runs consistently. So, I mean, this is international cricket. It's not, it's tough.
Anything can happen. Who would have thought that Venkatesh Iyer would have been nowhere? He's just disappeared. And here was Venkatesh Iyer, who everybody thought was going to be such an integral part. And the comeback of Hardik Pandya at the time when Venkatesh Iyer was struggling. It's incredible how things pan out in Indian cricket. But let's also talk about another comeback man, Deepak Chahar. Now, Deepak Chahar, before he got injured, was your go-to man in the power plays. He was the one man that India always depended on. But since then, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has found his swing. Arshdeep Singh has shown what he's capable of. Given that there are other bowlers who are doing well, Deepak Chahar's comeback, how difficult will it be for him? And I do feel that he has the advantage because he can bat, and none of the other bowlers that I talked about can really bat. So he will extend the batting lineup. In that sense, he has the advantage. And the team management also said we are keeping him as a backup in case he does well in Zimbabwe. I get the feeling that he will replace Avesh Khan. What are your thoughts on it?
Absolutely. I think he will replace Avesh Khan. Remember, he went for what, 15 plus crores in the IPL. It's a separate matter that he got injured. Second most expensive. And the reason for that was not only his unique ability to swing the new ball, but also, as you mentioned, he can hit the long ball, in the death overs, as he has shown in the IPL and for India in a few matches. So Deepak Chahar, if he is fit, which he is now, becomes a vital part for India. He's also a standby player in the Asia Cup because remember, Harshal Patel is injured, and there are doubts that he's not taking part in the Asia Cup, and also there are doubts and reports that he may not play at least the first half of the T20 World Cup. Bumrah is out of the Asia Cup, so there is a problem with the new ball. We only have Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Arshdeep Singh, India is reserving essentially for the death overs, post over 16. So who's going to bowl along with Bhuvneshwar Kumar? Deepak Chahar could be that bowler. You know, I know he's a standby bowler for the Asia Cup, but you might well see, you know, him in the first 11 in the Asia Cup just because of the combination. So Deepak Chahar becomes very important with the new ball. He was exceptional, as you mentioned, with the new ball before getting injured. In the IPL in 19 and 20, he was the highest wicket taker in the power play, amongst the top 5 wicket takers in the power play with the new ball in all T20 cricket since 2019. So he has that knack of picking wickets, and also very restrictive with the new ball in limited overs cricket. And therefore, I think this is a good addition by Team India. Deepak Chahar making a comeback is a big positive, especially during a time where Bumrah and Harshal are out due to injury.
Okay, so Bumrah and Harshal are out due to injury. This is important, and it's important for the Indian team as well if he does well, because we know what he's done in the past for this team. And given that this is such an important year for India in T20 internationals, it's really needed right now for Deepak Chahar to come back to form. But let's also then talk about one man who's done just about everything to impress everybody, but somehow he's still not found a place in the playing 11 in the Indian T20 setup. Now Deepak Hooda, can he cement his place in the ODI setup? He's used as a finisher there, but I also get a sense, given that your middle order, your core middle order is not playing this series, that he might be promoted up the order, maybe tried at number 3 or 4 just to see what he can do. Because Nikhil, one thing I feel with this team ODI setup, in the recent times we're missing someone like a Yuvraj Singh.
Right.
You know, we're missing someone like a Virendra Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, who can give you a couple of overs. We saw what Yuvraj Singh did with the ball as well.
Absolutely.
In this team, none of the batters can do that, and you have bowling all-rounders, but a batting all-rounder, a spin bowler who can bat well, Deepak Hooda can be groomed into that.
I mean, yeah, Deepak Hooda for sure. I mean, he's a very useful off-spinner. See, if Deepak Hooda bats at number 3, and if he bats all 3 matches, I'm 100% sure he'll get one big score, as he got against Ireland. The question for Team India then is, are you backing Deepak Hooda all the way? Are you going purely on form, come the Asia Cup, come the World T20? Is he your number 3 then? Because according to me, he's already done enough to cement that number 3 spot. But we all know Virat Kohli is going to play at number 3. There is no doubt about that, unless there's something which we don't know, which is brewing between Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma. So it's an important series for Deepak Hooda to further cement his place and tell the selectors that I've done well in the IPL, I've done well in the 7 T20Is, I've represented India, and now I'm going to do well in the West Indies, in the Zimbabwe ODI series. What else can I do? Now, it's up to the selectors what they do in the Asia Cup, but Deepak Hooda, again, a big chance for him to, further consolidate his position at number 3 for India.
I wonder though, for Deepak Hooda, I mean, how does he approach a series like this? Because he's done everything. He's announced himself. His arrival has been, anything but quiet. He's shown what he's capable of. We saw that wonderful 100 against Ireland, but somehow he's not found a...
So, that way, I mean, you can't say it is unfair, but on current form, yes, it is. But this is international cricket. This is what India's bench strength is all about. We have 3 teams which can beat the best, which can beat the best of the top 11 of any other team. That is how strong India's bench strength is, and it shows the pedigree of India's, international cricket at present.
Okay, I don't think the next set of numbers are needed for us to really tell everybody that India are the overwhelming favorites to win this series, of course. Though Zimbabwe have beaten Bangladesh at home in the last series that they played against them in ODIs as well as T20Is. They would be, of course, approaching this with the idea of beating India and would at least look to beat them in one game, if not win the series. But this is a huge moment for Zimbabwe cricket. I mean, all said and done, at the end of the day, you and I can sit here and say, why is India playing Zimbabwe? But this is huge for a country like Zimbabwe to have India come over there and play.
Yeah, after 6 years, India is going to Zimbabwe after 6 years. It is, I mean, Zimbabwe is just about, standing on its own 2 feet, Zimbabwe cricket. Financially and even how their domestic structure is set. They have a few good players. Sikandar Raza is one batsman to watch out for. He was the player of the series in both these ODI and T20 triumphs against Bangladesh at home. Some of the key players are not playing, Meha, but overall I think, when I recall Zimbabwe cricket, I think of the late 1990s and the 2000s. They had some fine players, Alistair Campbell, Neil Johnson. They were beating the top teams in the world, India, Australia. They were a very fine team, especially in the 2003 World Cup in South Africa. But now Zimbabwe cricket, due to various reasons, whether it's the quota, whether it's political disturbance, they've gone down. But again, this is a resurgence for them. They can upset India in one of the matches. Given that India is not playing 7 of their top players, they can. Also, this series is important for Zimbabwe because currently they rank 13 in the ODI rankings. Top 8 will finish, directly qualify for the World Cup in India next year. Any win against India will give them some ranking points. And I think the cutoff line is March next year. So for Zimbabwe, any win against India becomes important. They'll want to have a direct qualification than play the qualifiers again.
Okay, I think with that, we've come to the end of this. What do you make of our show? Do you agree with some of our thoughts? Do let us know in the comment section below. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest from the world of sports. I hope you've already subscribed. If you haven't, go subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you get notification every time we go live. That's it from both of us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.